Hello, I'm Dre P. Lotus Harris, and this is week 8 of Brand and Build Institute. And today we are talking about launch strategy and campaign design. Let's get it. Launch strategy and campaign design. Okay, so what's the first thing we're going to talk about? Okay, so for your launch, we're going to break this down. So the launch, it basically consists of number one, awareness phase. Number two, education phase. Three, offer phase. And number four is closing phase. Okay, so this is how we launching it, right? We're launching your brand. Okay, and this is how we're launching your brand. The first thing is awareness. We just need people to know about it. And you're raising awareness right now. So now it's just let people know. Education, that's when you're getting more into your expertise bag. That's when you're starting to talk about what makes you an expert, what separates you, your authority positioning, your brand identity. That's when you start getting into that, right? And then number three, that's your offer phase. Now you're ready to create your offer and make your offer and monetize. And number four, that's the closing phase. That's when you've attracted people to your offer, you're ready to monetize. Now your focus is on closing those people that you brought all the way to the top or the bottom of the funnel, however, whichever which way you got the funnel. Okay. What's another thing? All right. So lead magnets. All right. Lead magnets are crucial, critical. You need some type of way that you're pulling leads in every day, like pulling the people into your funnel. So lead magnets, those are things like guides, checklists, short courses, assessments, anything that people can fill out like little forms or leaving a comment, make a post and you're asking people to leave a comment or some type of call to action. Those are lead magnets because any way that you're getting people's contact information, email addresses, or people are just showing interest in the things that you're providing, those are lead magnets. You need leads to be coming in on a daily basis all the time in order to sustain growth in your business. Lead magnets. Then we got email nurture systems, or email lists, email campaigns. Those are better than social media followers or social vanity metrics, like I say. Email lists help you out in a lot of different ways. If you have what they do, they build trust. Like if you're sending educational emails, those build trust. If you're teaching people things, giving them deals, or just giving them like inside information, that builds trust. Another thing your emails can do is build connection. So if you're telling the stories through your emails, you can build connection and even be able to tell about more than what you can talk about online. Like maybe in the emails, you can kind of give more of a personal perspective on what you're talking about to make people feel more connected. And then when you conversion, so you want to drive conversion by making offers. So drive conversion. Okay, so drive conversion. That means how do you convert someone who is looking at an email? How do you convert them to a customer? Or how do you convert someone that sees a post online? How do you convert them to be a customer? And that comes from driving conversion through different ways. So putting an offer in your email will be a way to get people to convert within the email. So if you put a call to action in the email, like book a session a day, book a consultation a day, book a call a day, anything like that. You need those call to actions in the email to drive conversion. And an email is a powerful way to do that because more people check the email than people who check every notification they get from social media. And then even more people check text messages. So if you could do text nurturing systems, that works too, just as well as better than email, matter of fact. So if you can do this through text, that actually works better than email. So we're thinking about all these things are going to help us launch. You know, when you're launching, you want to just gather up as many people, contacts, leads, customers. You want to get all those contacts together. So make sure you're keeping your contact list separated and organized and updated too. So as far as launch campaign planning, what goes into launch campaign planning? What goes into that? The promotional schedule. Okay, so we're gonna make a promotional schedule. Of course, we need a schedule of what's going to happen throughout the day. We also need content themes, email schedule, and revenue targets. Okay, so when you're planning your campaign, the promotion, how are you going to promote the campaign? So that's a lot of different ways: social media, email campaign, print flyers, events, networking. Use every possible way to promote, but schedule it to where you know when you're doing what each day. Content themes. What are your content themes going to be throughout the launch campaign? Now, a good way to look at that is for your content themes, think of it in terms of awareness. The first phase of your content should be awareness. The next phase of your content should be education. The next phase could be talking about the offer. Then the next phase could be talking about the close. So, how are you going to separate the different phases of your content? So, it doesn't have to be those phases, but you just have to understand that's the best way for people to flow to the bottom of the funnel to become a customer is starting with the awareness and working their way down to the close. And that's what your content should take them down that path. And then the email schedule. So as you're doing your content and your promotion, you should be gathering emails because emails are the most important thing besides phone numbers. So gather these emails, and you need to have a schedule for when do you send out emails. How often are you going to email these people? I would say at least once a week. I mean, if you're talking about a launch, and then you can scale it down to maybe twice a month. But when you're trying to launch this and you're trying to build that awareness, send out those emails at least once a week, or at the most once a week. I wouldn't do more than once a week, but I think once a week is probably ideal though. Yeah, but it also depends on what type of emails you're sending to. But just don't spam people. Revenue targets. You have to plan how much money you plan on making from your launch. I mean, if we don't plan on making money from the launch, then what are we doing? Like, really? So we want to make money from the launch. So we're gonna figure out like how much money are we gonna generate, but we're gonna have targets though. So revenue target, which means it's not necessarily what you have to make or what you're guaranteed to make, but that's the target that you're going for based off of how much of this you're doing and how good you are with the sales and how good your offer is. And all of that matters because we're going to use all that to figure out what your revenue target should be. Because it's really based on how much or how you set everything up leading to this point to figure out what your revenue target should be. And we want that revenue target to be through the roof because that's the whole point. That's what we're doing here. We're building big businesses here. This is not the strategy for a lemonade stand. I'm telling you that right now. The strategy I'm putting you on, this is a strategy for a big business that's sustainable and can scale to however large you want it to be. So when we talk about revenue targets, we want those revenue targets to the roof. You know what I mean? We want y'all to be wealthy. We want y'all to build a business that can make you wealthy and we build a business that can make you wealthy and make other people wealthy. That's the goal. But that is week 8, launch strategy and campaign design. I'm excited because this means if y'all talking about launch strategy, that means you're going to be launching your brands here pretty soon. And business plans starting to get finalized. So I'm excited about this. I want to keep on rolling. We only got maybe 4 more weeks after this, and you guys should be fully certified, and have your whole package together and ready to launch your brand. So let's get it going with that. And I want y'all to tap in with me, tap into the live stream, and then also make sure you get the assignment done. I'll be helping you with the assignment on the live stream. So when you get on there, we can talk about that. And any other questions in the meantime, just let me know.